Welcome to Thrive Nuggets. In today's video, we will explore what if you were betrayed by someone you deeply trusted. Would you let the hurt consume you, or would you seek to understand and overcome it? Betrayal, a sting that cuts deep, an emotional vortex that can disrupt our lives, leaving us to grapple with a sense of profound loss. It's like a shadow, insidious and silent, waiting to cast its cold, dark veil over us when we least expect it. But what if there was a way to not just survive, but thrive amid such turmoil? Enter Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that offers a beacon of hope amidst the storm of betrayal. Stoicism teaches us to understand the nature of our emotions, to control what we can, and to let go of what we can't. It equips us with the tools to navigate the maze of betrayal. Providing a compass to guide us through the darkest corners of our betrayal is a hard pill to swallow, but with the wisdom of Stoicism, we can learn to navigate through its complexities. The first Stoic principle that can help us in dealing with betrayal is acceptance. To understand the concept of acceptance in Stoicism, it's crucial to recognize that it's not about denying or suppressing our feelings of hurt and betrayal. Rather, it's about acknowledging them, embracing them, and allowing them to exist without letting them control us. Stoicism teaches us that our emotions are not our enemies. They are, in fact, our guides. They signal when something is amiss, when a boundary has been crossed, or when our trust has been violated. Acknowledging these feelings is the first step in the process of acceptance. But what does acceptance really mean? It's not a passive resignation, nor is it an endorsement of the betrayal. Acceptance is a conscious acknowledgement of reality. It's looking at the situation as it is, devoid of illusions or wishful thinking. When we accept, we stop fighting reality. We stop wasting energy on what-ifs and if-onlys. We cease to resist the truth of what has happened. Acceptance doesn't mean that the betrayal didn't hurt. It doesn't mean that it was okay. It simply means that it happened. And why is this important? Because acceptance is the antidote to denial, a common reaction to betrayal. Denial can be a comforting illusion, a refuge from the painful truth. But it's an illusion nonetheless, and it only prolongs our suffering. Acceptance, on the other hand, is liberating. It's the key that unlocks the door to healing. It allows us to confront the betrayal, to understand it, and ultimately to move past it. Remember, acceptance is not a one-time event. It's a continuous process, a journey. It's not easy, and it certainly doesn't happen overnight. It takes courage, patience, and compassion towards oneself. In the face of betrayal, acceptance is the first step towards empowerment. It's acknowledging the wound so the healing can begin. It's facing the storm so we can eventually find the calm. By accepting the reality of the betrayal, you take the first step towards healing. The second Stoic wisdom is understanding the sphere of control. Picture a bubble around you. This bubble represents your sphere of control. Within it are your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions. Outside it are the actions and feelings of others, the weather, the passage of time. These are elements beyond your control. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what's within our bubble, the things we can directly influence. Our emotions, for instance, are within our control. We decide how we react to situations and how we let them affect us. Betrayal can be a bitter pill to swallow, but it is our choice whether to stew in resentment or to move forward with grace. Now let's turn our attention outside the bubble. Here lie the actions of others. As much as we may wish to, we cannot control how others behave. We can't force someone to be loyal, nor can we prevent someone from betraying us. This is a hard truth, but accepting it eases our suffering. The concept of control in Stoicism is not about gaining power over others or circumstances. Rather, it's about understanding where your power truly lies. It's about recognizing that you can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Consider betrayal. It's an action carried out by another person. It's outside your sphere of control, but your response? That's entirely within your power. You can choose to harbor bitterness, or you can choose to cultivate resilience and understanding. So, next time you feel the sting of betrayal, remember this sphere of control. Recognize what you can and can't change. Instead of wasting energy on things outside your control, devote your efforts to managing your own emotions and reactions. This is not to say that dealing with betrayal is easy, far from it. But by focusing on what you can control, you empower yourself to navigate the storm with wisdom and composure. We can't control others' actions, but we can control our response. Remember, betrayal is an action, not a feeling. Our third Stoic lesson is about gaining perspective. Stoicism is a school of thought that champions the art of perspective. It encourages us to step back, to observe, and to view situations from different angles. When we find ourselves on the receiving end of betrayal, our first instinct might be to react emotionally, to feel hurt, anger, or disappointment. However, Stoicism teaches us to apply perspective as a soothing balm to these raw emotions. Imagine for a moment that you're standing in the middle of a bustling city, surrounded by towering skyscrapers. From your position, the buildings seem overwhelming, almost oppressive. But if you were to ascend to the top of one of those skyscrapers, your view would change dramatically. The buildings that once seemed so imposing would appear smaller, less intimidating. This shift in perspective can significantly alter our understanding of the situation. Similarly, when faced with betrayal, we are initially consumed by the pain it inflicts. But by employing perspective, we can step back and view the situation from a different angle. We can see the people involved, their motivations, their struggles, their humanity. Stoicism encourages us to consider that the act of betrayal may not be a personal attack, but rather a reflection of the betrayer's own internal battles. It could be their way of dealing with their insecurities, their fears, or their inadequacies. By viewing the betrayal from this vantage point, we can foster empathy and understanding, instead of resentment and anger. But remember, this is not about excusing the actions of the betrayer. It's about developing a more nuanced understanding of the situation, which can aid in our healing process. It's about realizing that we are not the center of the universe and that people act out of their own experiences and perceptions. In the grand scheme of things, betrayal can be seen as a part of the human experience, an unfortunate occurrence that has more to do with the betrayer than the betrayed. It's about them, their choices, their actions, not a reflection of our worth. Viewing betrayal from different perspectives can help us realize that it's often more about the betrayer than the betrayed. The fourth Stoic wisdom is the practice of detachment. Now, when we speak of detachment, what comes to mind? Some might imagine a cold, unfeeling state of mind, an uncaring attitude toward the world and its affairs. But this is not what the Stoics meant by detachment. They advocated for a balanced emotional state, one where we are not tossed about by the turbulent waves of our feelings. Detachment in Stoicism is about not letting your emotions control you. It doesn't mean that you stop caring or stop feeling, but that you maintain a certain level of emotional equilibrium. This becomes particularly important when dealing with negative emotions, especially those triggered by betrayal. Imagine for a moment you've been betrayed. The pain is raw, the hurt is deep, your emotions are in turmoil. Anger, sadness, confusion, all these are swirling inside you. It's easy to get lost in these emotions, to let them control you, to let them dictate your actions. But this is where detachment comes in. Stoic detachment advises us to step back, to create a space between ourselves and our emotions. This space allows us to observe our emotions, to understand them, but not be consumed by them. It's like standing on the shore, watching the waves crash, but not being swept away by them. In the context of betrayal, detachment can be a powerful tool. It can help us navigate the storm of emotions, preventing us from making rash decisions or acting out of anger or hurt. It allows us to process our feelings, to understand why we feel the way we do, but without letting these feelings overwhelm us. Detachment, however, is not a one-time act. It's a practice, something we need to cultivate and nurture. It's a skill that needs honing, a muscle that needs flexing. And like any skill or muscle, the more we use it, the stronger it becomes. So the next time you feel the sting of betrayal, remember the fourth Stoic wisdom. Don't let your emotions control you. Step back, observe, understand, but do not be consumed. By practicing detachment, we can prevent feelings of betrayal from overwhelming us. The fifth Stoic lesson is about building resilience. Now, what does resilience mean in a Stoic context? It's not just about enduring hardships or weathering storms. It's about an internal fortitude that allows us to bounce back from adversity. And in this case, betrayal. Stoicism teaches us that life is full of challenges, and betrayal is one of them. It's an unfortunate fact of existence, but it's also an opportunity for growth and development. When we face adversity, we have two choices. We can let it break us, or we can use it as a catalyst for building resilience. In the face of betrayal, resilience is like a shield. It doesn't prevent the sting of the act, nor does it erase the pain. But it does provide a buffer, a protective layer that helps us absorb the blow. It gives us the strength to stand up, dust ourselves off, and continue moving forward. Resilience is not something that happens overnight. It's a muscle that needs to be trained and strengthened over time. It's about learning to see adversity not as a roadblock, but as a stepping stone. It's about understanding that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Stoicism encourages us to look at betrayal as a challenge, a test of our resilience. It asks us to step back from the immediate pain and see the broader picture. It invites us to question, how can this experience make me stronger? How can it deepen my understanding of myself and others? How can it enrich my life? When we build resilience, we equip ourselves with the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. We cultivate an inner strength that allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and dignity. We learn to recognize that while we can't control others' actions, we can control our reactions. Betrayal may knock us down, but with resilience we can always get back up. Stoicism reminds us that the power to rise again, to continue moving forward, lies within us. And that, in essence, is the beauty and strength of resilience. Our sixth Stoic lesson is about the power of forgiveness. Forgiveness, in the world of Stoicism, is not just a moral virtue, but a powerful tool to reclaim our mental tranquility. It's about opening the door to inner peace and closing it to resentment. And in the context of betrayal, it becomes a powerful act of self-liberation. The Stoics understood that harboring resentment is like carrying a heavy load on our shoulders. It drains our energy, clouds our judgment, and prevents us from moving forward. This is why they put so much emphasis on forgiveness. Because in essence, forgiveness is the act of putting down that heavy load, releasing us from the burden of anger and resentment. But let's be clear, forgiveness is not about denying the pain or excusing the wrong. It's not about pretending that the betrayal never happened or allowing it to happen again. Instead, it's about acknowledging the pain, understanding the wrong, and then making a conscious decision to let go of the resentment that binds us to it. In this way, forgiveness becomes an act of personal strength and wisdom. It's an expression of our ability to control our emotional responses, to rise above the instinct for revenge, and to choose peace over turmoil. It's an affirmation of our commitment to our own well-being, even in the face of betrayal. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." By this, he meant that we should give ourselves the time and space to process our emotions, to gain perspective, and to make the choice to forgive from a place of calm and understanding, rather than from a place of raw emotion. In the end, forgiveness is not about the other person, it's about us. It's about our ability to free ourselves from the grip of negative emotions, to reclaim our peace of mind, and to move forward with our lives. Forgiving the person who betrayed us doesn't mean forgetting. It means liberating ourselves from the chains of resentment. The final Stoic lesson we'll discuss today is the principle of growth. Stoicism encourages us to see life as a continuous journey of learning and personal advancement. This perspective is particularly crucial when we face painful experiences such as betrayal. In the grand scheme of life, betrayal, though harsh, is just another event. It's an incident that can be seen as a teacher, not a tormentor. Stoics teach us to take these moments of pain and use them as catalysts for our personal growth. They prompt us to ask, what can we learn from this? How can we emerge stronger, wiser? Like a seed that sprouts into a grand tree after enduring the harsh weather, we too can grow from our experiences. We can use the pain of betrayal as a stepping stone, transforming it into wisdom and strength. It's not about denying the pain, but about harnessing it for our development. With growth, we can turn the pain of betrayal into a stepping stone towards becoming a stronger, wiser person. In the face of betrayal, Stoicism offers us valuable lessons to guide us. We've journeyed through 7 potent teachings from the Stoic philosophy that empower us to deal with the sting of betrayal. From the acceptance of the situation, understanding what's within our control, to gaining perspective on the events, each lesson is a stepping stone to inner peace and resilience. We've learned about the power of detachment, the strength of resilience, the grace of forgiveness, and the potential for growth that lies within every act of betrayal. These lessons remind us that we are not victims of our circumstances, but active participants in our own life narratives. As we navigate the choppy waters of life, let's remember these teachings. They're not mere philosophical concepts, but practical tools to help us face betrayal and emerge stronger. Remember, it's not the betrayal that defines us, but how we respond to it. With Stoic wisdom, we can navigate life's betrayals with grace and resilience. In the face of life's inevitable challenges and betrayals, Stoicism provides us a roadmap to resilience. It's not just a philosophy, it's a way of life, a set of practical tools that can guide us through the hardest times. It's about understanding that we are not victims of our circumstances, but masters of our responses. We hope that these lessons have provided you with some comfort and guidance. But the journey doesn't end here. Stoicism is a lifelong practice. It requires continuous learning, reflection, and application. So we encourage you to delve deeper, read more, and continue to apply these principles in your everyday life. Let's continue to learn and grow together. And remember, it's not the betrayal that defines us, but how we respond to it. Betrayal is a part of life, but with Stoicism, we can navigate these difficult moments with grace, resilience, and wisdom. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Let's continue this journey together, learning, growing, and embracing the Stoic way of life. Thank you for watching.